Nintendo made a bold move in 1996 when they decided to forego the rise of CD-based gaming in favor of the age-old cartridges. At the time, this placed Nintendo firmly behind Sony's PlayStation in terms of units sold. However, in the long run, cartridges are a lot easier to collect and maintain. While Sony's PS1 was more of a solo gaming experience, Nintendo 64 was the party system. With 4 controller ports, the possibilities seem endless. With games like Mario Party, GoldenEye, F-Zero, and all those wrestling games, and so many others, made the N64 the system for you and your friends. While Nintendo crippled their superior system with the cartridge format, nevertheless they had many instant classics that nothing on the PS1 could touch, and some that not even modern games can touch. Just a quick reminder that this list is my personal top 10. I own over 285 Nintendo 64 games, but I have actually played every single one. This list contains games that you can pop in today and they still hold up. With that out of the way, here are my top 10 N64 games.
We believe there are 5 perpetrators.
I've never seen anything like it. There's fruit everywhere. Look what they did to my taxi.
Donkey Kong is back in an adventure so big, it's taking the country by storm.
In reaction, the governor has called in additional troops.
We believe one of them looks like this.
They're just not civilized.
We urge caution as they are heavily armed with fruit.
I'd like to tell you the situation is under control, but it isn't.
This turbocharged game has better graphics, more moves, bigger bosses, huge worlds. It's so big we included an expansion pack to get it all in.
They didn't even tip me.
And now, this.
Donkey Kong 64. And you thought insanity was crazy.
Heaven help us all.
Number 10.
Midway presents NFL Blitz.
Midway blew all of our collective minds by avoiding the simulation football world and went for the all-out arcade craziness. And as it turns out, it was just what we wanted. NFL Blitz was a game changer. After all those Maddens, NFL QB clubs, and NFL game days of the world, I mean, we just needed something new. No longer was it 1st and 10, now it was 1st and 30. Refs were long gone. You could break all the rules. Leg drop players after the play was over? Why not? Pass interference? I've never heard of it. Really, all of the NFL Blitz games on the N64 were good, but nothing beats the original. Number 9. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Tony Hawk made skateboarding cool again. While many of my friends rolled around on their Razor scooters or rollerblades, Tony Hawk did a 900 at the X Games and then launched a series of awesome yet unrealistic skateboarding games. While Tony Hawk's Pro Skater introduced the formula to all of us back in 2000, Pro Skater 2 perfected it the next year in 2001. Even though the Dreamcast version looked better, the controls that Pro Skater 2 had on the N64 were perfect. Who else remembers having that helicopter take off in the warehouse? While the series died in the PS3 and Xbox 360 era, which caused Neversoft to shut down, we still have those old awesome titles on the N64 to play forever. Plus, if you 100% completed the game with a created character, you could play as Spider-Man. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. Number 8. Banjo Kazooie. You know, that intro never gets old. Banjo Kazooie was Rare's attempt at perfecting what Super Mario 64 started, and, well, you know, they nailed it. What would later spawn Banjo Tooie and other spiritual successors like Donkey Kong 64 and Conker's Bad Fur Day, Banjo Kazooie was an instant classic platformer that stole our hearts. Rare had already blown our minds with games like GoldenEye and Donkey Kong Country on the Super Nintendo, but this title sealed the deal that everything Rareware made was pure magic. That is until Microsoft bought them out and ruined them. Thanks, Microsoft. Number 7. Harvest Moon 64. You know, Harvest Moon 64. This game is a lot harder to explain than others. After the series had a late start on the Super Nintendo in 1997, Harvest Moon returned on the N64 and entrenched us in the simple life of Mineral Town. Farming, to raising animals, to wooing of the ladies. Oh my gosh, I love potpourri. Harvest Moon seems so simple on the outside, yet when you play you realize just how deep of a game it is. While more recent Harvest Moons have been quite hit or miss, on the N64, Harvest Moon 64 was a gem that we can go back and play any time. Number 6. Mario Kart 64. Welcome to Mario Kart. Pretty much any kid and gamer heard this phrase in the 90s. After all, Mario Kart was the quintessential game to play before GoldenEye, Mario Party, and Super Smash Bros. Racing your friends was thrilling, battle mode was the best the series has ever seen, and that blue shell. What a great way to get your friend to throw his controller. That blue shell is a thing of beauty. If the 16 tracks were not enough for you, then you could play all the tracks in reverse after achieving all gold cups. Nintendo had a beautiful franchise on their hands, and it really showed us each sequel has proven to be better than the last.
I got this!
Number 5. The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. What? Ocarina of Time's only number 5 on your list? Your list is invalid. Yes, I know, strange voice. I am not the biggest Legend of Zelda fan. Heck, Wind Waker nor Twilight Princess even made my top 10 GameCube list. However, Ocarina of Time is the sole Zelda game that truly sucked me into its world, and not need to stare at a strategy guide to figure out what to do next. I'm looking at you, Twilight Princess. Nintendo blew everyone's mind with the large open-world Zelda, along with the epic in scale adventure. Do not even get me started on all the memorable melodies, music. I don't believe I know of another game that has such catchy, simple, and timeless music like Ocarina of Time. Plus, time traveling. If only we could have gone further into the future and see if Zelda and Link ever get together. Why must you tease us, Nintendo? They're meant for each other. Number 4.
A bomb has been planted at the base.
Gee! Can anyone take care of it?
Can't let you do that, Star Fox. Andros has ordered us to take you down.
Happy! Long time no see!
Andros' enemy is my enemy.
Star Fox 64. I don't know what it is about Star Fox 64. Maybe it's the characters, branching paths, perfect difficulty, or the final battle with Andros where you blow him up and escape like a fat kid finally going to lunch. Everything about this game clicked and every level was a gem, except the submarine level. That level was the absolute worst. While Star Fox Adventures was good, you can see my top 10 GameCube list for that, there's not been a sequel to Star Fox 64 that has truly been awe-inspiring, which is unfortunate as Star Fox 64 knew how to make you feel like a real flying ace, and heck, you could shoot Slippy down in every level so you didn't need to listen to him cry for help. Friendship! There was one other great thing about this game. Oh yeah, there wasn't any flipping levels where you left your ship. No one wants to run on the ground as Star Fox, Nintendo.
I knew you'd come help me.
Number 3. Paper Mario. I must admit, I missed this game when it initially released. While I played the rest of these games in the N64 era, I passed on Paper Mario as a kid. What a mistake that was, as Paper Mario is a fantastic RPG adventure that will make you want to keep playing simply for the dialogue. I'm not kidding. The dialogue here is fantastic. It is witty, humorous, and just a gem. Who knew the Bob-ombs would rebel against Bowser in his terrible working conditions, then forget they can blow up the prison will also escape. Luckily, the sequel on the GameCube maintained this style of gameplay and humor. Unfortunately, the Wii U version got off the tracks. Hopefully, the Wii U can revive this great series, as I am ready for more Paper Mario. Also, if you played Super Mario RPG on the SNES, but didn't play Paper Mario, then you are missing out. This is its spiritual successor. Number 2. Super Smash Bros. The absolute best party game on the N64 was an unexpected surprise. Nintendo's gamble on making what was originally a bland fighter into a Nintendo mascot brawler really paid off. The gameplay is slower in comparison to Melee and the later entries. Also, the roster was just 12 characters with everyone unlocked. However, this game started the franchise and is still a blast to play today. My only issue is Ness is a pain in the butt to unlock, especially since I'm kinda rusty. But that Falcon Punch? It's a beautiful work of art. New players sure do love Pikachu though. And the best game on the N64 is...
It's me, Mario! Hello!
Super Mario 64. Of course, one of the two games that launched alongside the console is undoubtedly the best. Surprising since I can't recall another launch game that can claim that. Maybe Super Mario World on Super Nintendo? But even that is iffy in my opinion. Super Mario 64 shows all how a 3D platformer is supposed to work and how to use a joystick. While PlayStation was twiddling their thumbs with lackluster platformers, N64 was changing the industry. Super Mario 64 spawned a lot of clones, but none can match the absolute perfection of this title. The controls, level design, graphics, music, and amount of content is just marvelous. Getting on top of the castle and then telling your friends at school how cool it is caused much jealousy on the playground.
Here we go!